All right, this video is to show how to rewind a weed eater head. All right, so it comes to kind of look for this little spot here. It's kind of hard to see. There's a little pin. You just twist it away from you, and then it just slides out. It's these pins that catches in there, like a little spline. Okay, so I'm gonna set the weed eater down. And I've already cut about 5 arm widths of string. And I just bring both ends together and kind of flake it out so that you just have a one long continuous piece. So then there's these 2 little holes in the groove there, if you can see it or not. But you take each end and you insert them in there, just push them in as far as they'll go. It doesn't have to lock or anything. So once they're in there, you just bend it back and it'll kind of hold. So then you keep the 2 sections separate. I a lot of times put my finger in the middle and just kind of hold them on both sides here and just start rolling it. There's a picture on here that says, sorry the light's not great, which way to wind the line. So the line is going down along there and it's going down through my hand. So that arrow follows the line. So it's gonna look like you're actually winding it backwards as you're turning it, but the line is winding on following the arrows. Okay. So then as you go, I'm gonna kind of back up a little bit here. As you go, you don't have to do it super tight. You know, if you get it really tight, sometimes when you go to bump it down to extend the line out, it gets stuck. So don't do it super tight. Just, you know, you try to kind of wind it back and forth so that it's, see if I can get to focus on that, so that it's nice and even on there. I'm kind of moving my fingers back and forth to get it wound on. And this is not, it's not, it takes a little bit of like hand coordination. So it's just something you kind of get a feel for. And the reason I did 5 full, I'm about 5'8" or 5'9" or so. So that's, you know, about 5.5 feet of string per arm pull. So it's around 15 feet or so. So it's gonna feel like a lot as you're winding it on, but once it gets down to the end here, you have to kind of untwist it as you go a little bit. And you can either use a razor knife once you get to the end, or you can use the little cutter. All right, so then once you get to where you're at the end here, just hook one end in that little cutout and just hold on to it, because it's going to try to jump out. And then come back around to the other side. And this is the bottom one. You're going to hook it through both of those little cutouts and hold on to that. Just put your thumb on it. All right, so here's where you just kind of unwind it, and you can just take a razor knife, just kind of fold it out there. Always cut away from you, right? Just catch it and cut away from you. All right, so I still got my fingers on those holes because it's gonna try to come out. And if that wasn't hard enough, this is probably the trickier part. I just kind of hold it with one hand, and you might be able to kind of thread one end through. You're going from the inside out here. I'll try to do it this way so you can see the inside of it. You're going from the inside out that way, and I'm keeping my fingers on those little grooves the whole time. So then find this one and just poke it through the hole. It's probably not the best picture, but and then keep your fingers on there as you find those little pins on the spindle, and you'll just feel it sit in there. Try, you know, these little grooves here where the line's coming out, try to line that up with the hole that it's going through, you know, close enough. So then you just kind of pop it in there and then give it a little tug, Give a little tug to get it out of those grooves. And you want it coming straight out. All right, so then you'll see, you can kind of see one of those little pins in that little sight window. And before we turned it toward us, now we're gonna turn it, oh wait, before we turned it away from us, now we're gonna pull it toward us, and you'll feel it kind of click in. All right, so now it's good to go. So your weed eater should have a little blade on here that as you start up, if it's too long, you know, it'll kind of trim itself short to the right length or so. If you're crazy and you took this off, took the rock guard off, just look out. All right, good luck.